Hey everybody, thanks for joining my channel, Spiritual Awakening with Ryan Nolan. Thank you for joining this channel. If you like this video, please hit the like, share, or subscribe button below. There's also a donation link in the description box below. And if it's not there, it's because I haven't put it in yet, and it will be in there shortly. If you do donate, I greatly appreciate it. This video that I'm putting together right now is something that I think is long overdue for this channel. I put it on other YouTube channels that I have. One of them is called Walking Into the Light. And if you haven't checked out that channel, I would really recommend looking at that, because that whole channel was about a lot of lies that we've been told as human beings, has been perpetuated over generations of generations, that has led us into a place of darkness, unaware of the truth. And the unawareness has led us as individual souls unable to break free from a matrix, because we're believing something. The very fundamental things that we believe in are not true. And so the reason I'm putting this video together is to let people know of a very, and I think this is something that a lot of people know already, but a lot of people don't think about enough, is the satanic agenda that has been put in place by governments. U.S. government's part of it. Governments all over the world are part of it. China, Russia, Iran. There's other countries that are part of it. North Korea, that are all part of a satanic plot to invert the consciousness of humanity, to invert it 180 degrees. So in other words, the things that you believe to be true when you're fully in your truth. When you're fully in your truth, and you know who you are, and you know right from wrong, and all of the grayness and all the vagueness is gone, and you are living in your truth, you know who you are, and the truth of your reality is coming, through your spiritual senses, and you're living life in truth, and you're allowing God to show you what type of life that you're supposed to live in your identity in Jesus Christ. When you surrender to God and you're living in truth, you will see that the things that you believe in now are in oppositions of the things that you would believe in if you're living in truth. And number one of those main ones is, for instance, speaking out about God. Speaking out about God and talking about God and talking about how important He is to our lives. And when I say our, I mean myself, and then you listening in as an audience. When you think of God and you are living in your truth, and you know who you are in Jesus Christ, you will know how important God is. It will become part of the consciousness. The energy shift, the integration of consciousness would be such that you would have to live in truth would have to be to accept God as the number one priority in your life. So the world that we live in today is in opposition to that, right? Like if you go to certain places, they don't let you speak out about a creator or about God. If you bring up God in certain settings, people in this world are very nervous about letting that happen, and they feel it's it's definitely taboo to talk about God in certain settings. And even in like church settings, if you don't talk about God in a specific way, if you don't follow their traditional doctrines and go by their rigid way of believing, this is the way that you have to believe in God, they're very rigid in their way of believing. And God is a very open God. God is a very non-judgmental God. God is openness. God is everything. And to live in truth would be to live in an open-mindedness, without judgment, without prejudices and discrimination in any way, shape, or form. And so that would eliminate a lot of the churches that are in this world today, because of the fact that a lot of churches these days are very set in saying that this is the way that you believe in God. If you believe in God, you have to come to church every Sunday, and if you believe in God, you have to take the sacrament, and you have to drink the wine in representation of His blood, as if he's being sacrificed again. And that's another thing, is Jesus was sacrificed once. It's already happened. We don't have to keep re-sacrificing God, because it was only done once. It was only needed once to alleviate the sins of humanity. So I'm only bringing that up because it's just another example of how church has purposefully and intentionally led mass populations of humanity away from the truth, which is that what's most important is developing an intimate relationship with God that is built on a personal level. And you You don't have to go to church for that. You don't have to do these crazy religious, exercises of eating the bread and all of these other things in order to prove something that is only proven through your obedience and through your self-surrender, that can only be done through a personal relationship with God that comes through prayer, through stillness, through meditation. So the reason I bring all of this up is to let people know that there is a satanic plot that has been put in place that has kept humanity, or that was intentionally designed to bring humanity on a mass level, because we're all one consciousness. That's another thing. We're all one consciousness, so we're easily controlled. See, that's the thing. Because we're all one consciousness, we're all operating from the same consciousness of Jesus Christ. That means that we can be easily manipulated if we don't live in truth. If we believe that everything means something, which it doesn't, nothing personal is ever happening, and I've talked about this in other videos, then you can't be controlled, because you're simply observing your life without any type of opinion, which is living in truth. That's why God says to live in truth is to surrender your ego, because your ego doesn't even exist. You're simply watching a movie of your life, and the body that you see, that you see as yourself, is connected to everything else in the background as one energy. So there's nothing separate from yourself. You're seeing yourself at every moment in time. You're simply seeing yourself at every moment in time. And when you get a comment from somebody, you're looking at yourself receiving that comment. You're receiving a comment that you used to think about yourself in a certain way, and now it's being replayed back to you by another soul that is the same soul as you. So this is all one way of saying one thing, and that is there has been a satanic plot that has been designed to invert the consciousness of humanity 180 degrees to believe in the things they wouldn't believe in if they were living in truth. And the only way that they could make us believe in something that was exactly opposite of what we would believe if we were living in truth is for us to not live in truth, and for us to believe something that wasn't true when not living in truth. And so the thing that they made us believe, that the way that they created the reality of us not living in truth, is to make us live in our ego. It's not true that we are only our body. Like I said, we're everything that we experience, right? Your body, and everything in the background that you see at every moment in time is one energy. So you are just as much the energy of the tree. You are just as much the energy of the car. You are just as much the energy of the person that you're speaking to. That person that you're speaking to is operating is the same soul as you, operating on the same consciousness as you are. The only difference is that they have a body that may look different than your body. They have a different looking body, but that doesn't separate them from you in consciousness or in energy. You're the same energy as this person. This person is reflecting back to you a way that you used to feel about yourself. So when you look at the world that way and you live in truth, you are simply observing yourself, and you know there's no reason to have an opinion, because you're only viewing it's like watching a movie of you. Everybody's watching a movie of themselves. Isn't that amazing? Everybody's watching a movie of themselves at every moment in time. And for the satanic agenda to work, they had to create the illusion that we are our body. So when we start believing that we're only our body, and we are confined to our bodies as who we are as individual souls, we cut off the energy that's available to us from so the energy that you might be experiencing from another person that you're speaking with, that's representing a way that you used to feel about yourself. You're not going to feel that person's you if you feel like you're only your body, right? If you're looking through egocentric lens, and you feel like everything has to be controlled, and your life is fearful and something that needs to be controlled, the conversation that you have with another person is going to be viewed as a person that you're talking to outside of yourself, and you're not going to receive the energy that would allow you to ascend to a higher state of being within your consciousness, which is everything that there is. So once you accept every moment as yourself, you receive energy that increases your positive thinking, increases your positive mindset, increases your power and strength, and your conviction and belief in yourself. All of these things are negated when you don't accept yourself, when you view the person outside of yourself that you're having a conversation with, or you experience the experience that you're experiencing as outside of yourself, and you consider it a bad experience, when really it's just an experience to show you more of who you really are. In other words, we're always watching a story of what's going on inside of us. Nothing matters. Even when someone dies, think about it. Even when someone dies, it doesn't matter, because it's just a story of something that's happening inside of you. And that's why God is trying to get us to have these really, almost traumatic experiences, because it brings up the revelation that once you accept the death that you had in the family, once you accept something that have been conceived as very negative, whatever it was, a loss of a job, or a loss of a pet, or a loss of a loved one. But once you accept it, because it's just a story that's happening inside of you, and it's just a energy of a way that you used to feel about yourself in that moment, once you accept it, you receive the energy, and you start to realize there's nothing to worry about. Everything is me. You start receiving more energy as you accept yourself more, of the reaffirming positive energies that there's nothing to worry about and everything is fine. And you start becoming more confident in every situation you find yourself in. And that's when you live in truth. But to live outside of truth is to believe that you're just your body, that you're just an ego. And the Satanic Plot has been designed to confine us into the belief that we are simply just our bodies. And that's why everybody's so egotistical in the world that we find ourselves in. Everyone thinks that they're separate from everyone else, right? That's why competition has been so blown out of proportion, in comparisons, and how does this person look at versus me, and these social apps and the social media. And that's when that exploded, because the satanic forces knew. And then when I say satanic forces, aka governments all over the world, aka agencies all over the world, politicians, you name it, all of the elite, you could all put them in the bucket of satanic worshipers that have been trying to do exactly what I'm talking about right now, to get mankind to believe that they're smaller than they actually are, that we're just a little old me when we're everything that there is. You are the energy of the universe. I am the energy of the universe, because we're the same soul. And that's the thing, is once you realize the truth that you are this, you live in unparalleled power, because you realize there's nothing to fear. You're only living within your own energy, your own consciousness. Everything that you see is you. You are just looking at yourself at everything. Everything is you. So the satanic agenda was designed to they don't want us to understand the empowering truth of who we are as human beings. Because you got to remember, we were built in the image of God, and I think a lot of times people glaze that over when we talk about God. We say, oh yeah, we're built in the image of God, and they kind of glaze it over as if it's not important. How important is it to know that we were built in the image of God? And what that means is that once you come to the revelation that I just talked about, which is that there is no opinion that you have to have, you're simply watching yourself. It's the same shoes that you put yourself in as the creator of all things. Someone that is able to know that his creation is within him, and that he allows so much open-mindedness and so much non-judgment to allow them to be who they are, that they have the free will to do whatever it is that they want to do, because he doesn't look at them with the judgment that we as mankind think that the creator looks at us with. He looks at us with open-mindedness and gives us the free will to choose the way that we want to believe and live. And it's through that free will that allows us to grow and expand and to go through trials and error. But to come to the full realization of what it means to live as the image of God is to know that you are everything in the universe. And that is to live in truth. And that is to live without opinion about yourself. That is to understand you're just watching a movie of your own self. You're watching yourself right now. And the satanic plot that I've been talking about has been designed to keep us from understanding this by the food that they deliver, all of the things in this egotistical world that we can all attribute to. And I'm running out of time here, so I can't go through all the list of things that they've done. And I'm just letting people know the plot has been designed to keep people believing that you're just your body and you are everything in the universe. Don't forget that. And God bless you. Make sure you're prayed up. We're going through a spiritual battle right now that is ending, and light is prevailing. And God is here on this planet. In the mighty name of Jesus, amen.